18 seconds. All you had to do was hold them for 18 seconds. My biggest takeaway, not only from this game, but from the season as a whole, is that our quarterback is great. But the rest of the team is hot butter garbage. Hot butter garbage. 18. What's up, YouTube? Your boy back once again with another sport topic, and today we're going to talk some football. Houston Texans football. The Houston Texans fall in the season finale versus the Tennessee Titans. 41-38 in a classic Texans-Titans game. This is just the typical Texans-Titans AFC South season-ender type of game that you can ask for. It's just all the Texan-Titan things. The Texans gonna Texans and the Titans gonna Titans. All that stuff happened in today's game. Like, it is exactly what this game was. It was a classic Houston Texans, Tennessee Titans game. Just a classic game through and through. Like, 18 seconds. I thought we left that whole ass shit back in 2020. Now y'all don't bring this to 2021. It's a brand new year. It's a new month. We on the rise into a new season. It's the first game of 2021, and you bring the 2020 shit up in here. That's exactly what you did. That right there was some 2020 bullshit. Right there. That was some 2020 bullshit. But no, you brought it into 2021. 2021, we can't be great. We can't be great. Just 18 seconds. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Like I said, the Houston Texans fall to the Tennessee Titans 41-38. Deshaun Watson was 28 of 39 for 71.8%, throwing for 365 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, was sacked 4 times, had a quarterback rating of 115.9. David Johnson, like the last 3 games, David Johnson has become David. He's woken up and is now David Johnson again. He had 14 rushes for 84 yards, averaging 6 yards, a carry, had a touchdown, and also caught. I guess he didn't catch anything else. Oh yeah, he did. He was targeted 5 times, caught 3 catches for 36 yards in the passing game. Brandon Cooks targeted 16 times, had 11 catches for 166 yards and 2 touchdowns. Kiki was targeted 7 times with 6 catches for 90 yards. Farrell Brown was targeted 5 times for 5 catches for 48 yards and a touchdown. Stephen Mitchell was targeted once for 1 catch for 20 yards, and that actually came from A.J. McCarron throw. Hansen was targeted 4 times, had 2 catches for 16 yards, and Akins was targeted twice for 1 catch for 9 yards. And on the other side, Ryan Tannehill threw 18 for 27 for 66.7%, 216 yards, had 1 touchdown, no interceptions, was sacked twice, and had a quarterback rating of 103. Derrick Henry. King Henry. Hey. 3rd straight game against the Houston Texans for rushing over 200 yards. He had 34 rushes for 250 yards and 2 touchdowns. Fumbled twice, by the way. Had one of them. One of them came. The Texans was able to recover one of them. Ryan Tannehill rushed 7 times for 38 yards and 2 touchdowns. AJ Brown was targeted 11 times, had 10 catches for 151 yards and a touchdown. None bigger than that 52-yard reception at the end of the game. Corey Davis, targeted 11 times for 5 catches for 38 yards. And Corey Davis just had a bad game. I mean, he was targeted 11 times. He only had 5 catches. I think the other 6 were all drops. I don't count, but he had a lot of crucial bad drops. Ferguson, who had a great game against us last time, only caught 2 catches for 18 yards. Because he really didn't do too much in the receiving game outside A.J. Brown. It was mostly a Derrick Henry show. It was mostly Derrick Henry versus Deshaun Watson. And 2 things to take away. Like I said, Deshaun Watson played great. Deshaun Watson is now the NFL passing leader, and also broke the Matt Schaub's record. He broke Matt Schaub's record last week in touchdowns. This week he extends that touchdown record by 2. Now I think he has 32 touchdowns on the season, and also now has over 4,800 yards throwing. Now the record was, I think, 471. Yeah, 4,770 yards was Matt Schaub's record in 2009 for the most passing yards in the season by Texas. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that number brings Deshaun Watson to over 4,800 yards. So Deshaun Watson has the season record for the most yards and the most touchdowns in the same season. He broke Smash Shot's record, so he's now that leader. He's now on to being the all-time leader in yards and touchdowns. And he did all that on a 4-12 team. A team they just gave the Miami Dolphins the 3rd pick in the draft. Deshaun Watson had a great season this year. It was all squandered. That right there shows you how bad and poor of a job this franchise has been doing for our quarterback. Do y'all know that the Texans are the only team in the NFL that didn't have their game moved around behind COVID? Like everybody else had a game either rescheduled not only through the week, but just had their game had to just get changed around in some form of way. The Texans schedule was never altered. The only game that got altered was this one because they don't on the last week of the season because they don't know exactly what game they're gonna do for the Sunday night game and stuff like that. What game had playoff aspirations? So they let all those games to be determined, and then as the week progresses, they'll switch on and give you timestamp. Hence, that's the reason why we started at 3:30 today. But other than that, every game the Texans played was played to the exact time and date of the original of the original statement when the schedule came out. And the Texans are the only team that did not get a game rescheduled. And like some teams got games just even rescheduled, even though they played the same day, but they times got rescheduled. The Texans never got a reschedule. The only team in the NFL that never had to get a game rescheduled. And your quarterback played all 16 games. Became broke the most yards and most touchdowns in the season for your franchise. And you did this on a 4-12 team. That's how bad this team is. Like I said earlier, hot butter garbage. And today's game is just a prime example. Like Derrick Henry, there's no reason why Derrick Henry just running straight up free up the middle. You would use Reader, don't you? You think you need DJ Reader? You think Reader? You think Reader? You think you might need Reader? You think you might need DJ Reader right now? Because that was probably one of the most stupidest things that we done. I know we talk about the Clowney trade, we talk about the Tunsil trade, we talk about the Hopkins trade, we talk about the signing Eric Murray, we talk about signing Randall Cobb and trade from Brandon Cooks. We talk about all that, the Tunsil contract. We talk about all that, the Mercer's contract. But the thing that we do not talk about enough is that we let DJ Reader walk out that door. And for you to give both Whitney Mercer's a contract when he didn't need one. His first month of 2019 was great. That first month back in September 2019, he should have been Defensive Player of the Month, and they didn't give it to him. Other than that, he was non-existent the rest of the season and was non-existent none this year. None. Absolutely none. None at all. And you gave him money, you gave Nick Martin money, and then you also gave Brandon Dunn money. Before DJ Reader walked out the door. DJ Reader's the type of guy that you don't let walk out the door. Not only because he's the best nose tackle in the league, he was a 5th-round pick. When you have 5th-round picks to show up and show out like that, you don't let those guys leave the building. You don't even let those guys test free agency. You don't even let them test free agency. What you do is you sign them beforehand, before the free agency is even thought of. You keep those guys in-house. You don't think we can use him this season? The Texans run defense has been putrid all year. Oh, yeah. And y'all know how I am about the secondary. But you know what? Teams didn't even get a chance to show how bad the secondary was most of the time because they were able to run the football on us. Well, hey, why do I need to throw if I can just run the ball down your throat? In the secondary, we already know how trash the secondary is. And Hargraves, somebody please, whoever is the new general manager, get rid of Hargraves. I'm sick of looking at him after every single play. You ain't did nothing all day. You lucky Corey Davis dropped 11 catches. Like if you want to be honest, if you want to be real, you want to keep it 100. You are lucky that Corey Davis dropped 11 catches today, or else you even got snagged on all day. Stop it. I don't care you was a 1st-round pick. I don't care you used to play for the Florida Gators. I don't care. You're not good. You're trash. Hot butter garbage. Grade A garbage. Trash man, come get just straight up absolutely garbage. Hot butter garbage. And you out there like you really doing something. Man, sit your ass down, dog. Sit your ass down. It frustrates me. And the thing is, I already know the game's out of reach. I mean, not out of reach, but the season's out of reach. You wasn't going to make the playoffs. I understand all that. But I wanted to start off this season. I wanted to end the season off on a good note. Put a good taste in your mouth going into the 2021 season. But you still see the same old thing. Again, 18 seconds, and this game can go to overtime. I don't know what Weaver, what was you doing? And I'm not even a fan because I really don't really like the whole prevent defense. But in that type of situation, that's when you everybody should have been way back there. Way back there. You know why? Because they need to get into field goal range to even win the game. They way back here. Why you got people up on the line of scrimmage? They don't need to be that close. Why? Why? Everybody needs to be all the way back. Let them dump the ball in the middle of the field and pitch it around and do all that type of stuff to help drain that damn clock. That's all you had to do. But no, you want to be aggressive. You want to play regular defense. And you seen what happened. Did you not see what happened to the Jets earlier this year? Did you not see what happened to Miami last Saturday, whenever that Miami Dolphin game was, Miami Dolphin and the Raiders? That's the exact type of stuff happened. You just added your name to the list of bonehead decisions in a crucial down distance. Like, it was just stupid and absurd, and I'm just glad. I don't even want to talk about the coaching staff because I know this coaching staff is not going to be here anymore. I understand that. But it is some things that I got to talk about. One, in the first half, the first drive of the game, the Texans had a 4th and 1, a 4th and 2. And I think it was like the mid-territory. You're a 4-and-win team. Go ahead and go for it. Just go ahead and go for it. Just go ahead and set the tone early. Because that's another thing that actually bit the Texans in the ass. Because remember, the Texans got into field goal range and had to settle for field goals the first 5 possessions. First 4 possessions. I know the first possession that they didn't get anything because that's the possession I'm talking about. Then they got to the red zone 3 more times before the first half ended and only got field goals. Remember, this team was down 31-15, came all the way back and took the lead at 35-31. Then they go and score a touchdown, and then we go back 38-38. Dog, this team is under, and no Hopkins, because we know Hopkins is in Arizona. Fuller got suspended. If we get the right coaching staff, this division is right back ours, and I don't care what nobody say because obviously we have the best quarterback in the division. I know Jacksonville about to get Trevor Lawrence. I told you how I feel about Trevor Lawrence. I'm not all that high on Trevor Lawrence like everybody is. I'm not saying Trevor Lawrence is going to be trash. I just don't think that he's just not the end all be all. Like, they got him as the third-rated quarterback after Elway and Luck, and it's him as being the prospect. I don't think he's that high. I think Luck is better than Trevor Lawrence. I damn sure think John Elway is better than Trevor Lawrence. I think John Elway is better than Andrew Luck. I think Deshaun is better than him. I think Mahomes is better. This whole thing with Trevor Lawrence, I'm just not buying it. Now, I'm not saying he might be a good franchise quarterback. You can be a good franchise quarterback, but I don't think you on the level of my quarterback. Is what I'm saying. I don't think you're on the level of Mahomes. I don't think you're on the level of Wilson. I just don't see it. I could possibly be wrong, but I just don't see it with Trevor Lawrence. But at the end of the day, I feel that we have the best quarterback in the division with or without Trevor Lawrence coming in here. I don't even care. But what I'm saying is, this is just showing you how this organization has been ran piss poor. The reason why you have a quarterback throw for over 4,800 yards, over 33 touchdowns, only had single-digit interceptions because that one interception gave him 7. So he's 32 touchdowns, over 4,800 yards, and only 7 picks, single-digit picks, and you only win 4 games. And it's not by him. It's not his fault. How many times have he put us in the position to win the game? How many times have he put us in the position to win the game and our defense fuck it up? Or Kiki fumbles. Or Nick Martin has a bad snap. The Titans should have lost to us both times. The Colts should have lost to us both times. It's just crazy, man. Like the Texans should, even as bad as this season has been, the Texans still should have made the playoffs because they still should have won the South. Because if you flip those AFC South wins, you give the Colts and you give the Titans those losses, you right back in it. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, you still got the Cleveland game out there. You got the Viking game out there. You got the Steelers game. You got the Bengals game last week. And I get it. I know what y'all about to say. If was a fifth, we all be tipsy. I get it. I understand it. It turned out the way it turned out. But I'm just saying, Deshaun played great in these games. And he wasn't done any favors by this organization and by the personnel in this organization. And today was just a perfect example. Today was a perfect example. It was the whole season just wrapped up. Just the whole season just wrapped up into one. Just the whole season wrapped up into one. That Deshaun plays his ass off. And gets let down at the end. Gets let down completely at the end. And this time, it was by coaching staff and the defensive personnel. And I bet Deshaun is like, damn, what did I get myself into by signing this contract? But again, brighter days on the horizon because the Texans, I feel, they have no choice but to make the right general manager decision. They have no choice because when they make their right general manager hire, and y'all already know what I'm talking about. Go check my last video. When they make their right general manager hire, when they make that right hire, they're going to go down. The right coach is going to get hired, and he's going to hire the right coaching staff, and then that GM is going to take care of the free agency. He's going to take care of the draft. I know we don't have premium picks, like I just said. Now we not picking to the third round. We're going to pick the fourth pick in the third round, third pick in the third round. My fault. The third pick in the third round, and we got to see how that board falls to us. Like, again, because I definitely think we need to try, hopefully we can get Trey Sermon out Ohio State. Because I know y'all seen what he did, and I've been saying that for months. I've been saying that we need to bring in Trey Sermon. If y'all follow me on Instagram, y'all be in the Discord, y'all know I've been hollering about Trey Sermon for a long time. Because he used to play Oklahoma. He's the perfect running back, in my opinion, for Deshaun Watson. And now he's gotten bigger and gotten stronger, and he's showing he has more power. He's not just a guy who can catch out the backfield and do things like I'll compare it to LaShawn McCoy. He's just not that type of back anymore. So he's showing that he has power. You give Deshaun Watson a run game because, again, to David Johnson's credit, today's game and last game, when David Johnson was running the football effectively, when you're able to run the football, that helps out Deshaun Watson passing a whole lot. Brandon Cooks, the second player in NFL history to get 4,000 yards on multiple teams. He get 1,000 yards on 4 different teams. A great job. And I believe if Fuller would have played the whole season, because Fuller was only like 100 yards away from getting 1,000 yards, a little over 100 yards away from getting 1,000 yards, and he missed the last 5 games of the season. And Kiki, I think if Kiki would have played from the beginning, you don't have Randall Cobb, I think Kiki would have 1,000 yards as well. Because if you look at his average, if you look at what he averaged, if you multiply his average throughout the whole 16-game season, he's like at 960. So he's close to 1,000 yards. And I believe in a game like today's game, that kind of gets pushed a little bit more than he gets a little bit pushed more over and gets that 1,000 yards and get very close to it. So there's a chance that this team could have, going forward next year, have 3,000-yard receivers. Because Kiki, in my opinion, is showing definitely he's better than Randall Cobb. One, because he's more explosive than Randall Cobb. They both is the same guy. Like they average around the same amount of yards per game. They also have a catch. They have the same catch radius as well as far as catching percentage. I think Kiki's coming in today's game was 81%, and Randall Cobb's like 79%. So that's basically the same thing. And Kiki's cheaper because Kiki's still on his rookie deal, and you still wouldn't even have to give Kiki the type of deal that you gave Randall Cobb. So that's just another thing that Bill O'Brien did that he botched. Just another thing that Bill O'Brien botched, trying to go out there. I know y'all talking about when Kiki be fumbling and stuff like that. I understand all that, but sometimes young players need to work through that because if he has a situation that, hey, damn, if I fumble, he's pressing because it's like, hey, if I fumble, I'm gonna get benched. If I fumble, I'm not gonna play. It's in his mind. He's not playing freely. I mean, everybody makes mistakes, and you gotta give him to work through that. And I think when you show that you have a short leash. Now, like I said, when the player does get an opportunity, he's pressing. He's pressing now. He's not playing free. If Kiki was able to play free, he might have made a mistake here and there, but those mistakes wouldn't be they'd be few and far in between. They wouldn't show up as often because he would have a longer leash and he knows that he can play freely. And if I make a mistake, he gonna trust me because Deshaun trusts him. Deshaun don't go away. Once Deshaun throws the ball to Kiki and Kiki fumbles, he does not no longer throws to him. He throws right back to him. Same thing with Will Fuller. When Will Fuller would drop a catch, he didn't throw away from Will Fuller. He would continue to go to him like, I got you. Don't worry. I'm still coming to you. I still believe in you. And those players work through those problems. That's how you do it. That's how Fuller worked through his catch problems. Yeah, Fuller still drops catches here and there, but they not as often they was early on in his career because he had to work through those problems. You have to allow players to work through those type of issues. But speaking of the interception that Deshaun did throw today, that was actually all on Deshaun. He threw in the double coverage and threw short. It was a bad decision by throwing the double coverage to Brandon Cooks, and then also he underthrew him. So it was a bad decision all the way around. On that last drive, if Brandon Cooks was Hopkins, I'm not saying this because Hopkins in general. I'm just saying I still believe I want us to re-sign Fuller, and also I think they talking about that they working on negotiation with Brandon Cooks, hopefully to bring that cap number down so you can extend him because he only has 1 year left on his deal. Don't think he doesn't have any guaranteed money, and if you got rid of him, you save like $6 million or something like that, $5 or $6 million. But you can work that cap number down and extend him longer, so you have him under contract longer. I believe you should go out there and re-sign Will. You should go out there and re-sign Will Fuller, and they don't really have the cap space to go after anybody via free agency. But I do think later on the draft, they can go draft them a big body, like I call him, a go getter, a guy who can jump, who has a jump and a good jump radius and a good catch radius. If you have a guy like that, that last drive when we threw it to the end zone to Cooks, that was a disadvantage to Brandon Cooks because he doesn't have that type of jump or catch radius, and it was almost a pick by Kevin Byard. Not Kevin Byard. I think that was Malcolm Butler. And Malcolm Butler, I used to like Malcolm Butler when he was in New England. Malcolm Butler frustrates me as a Titan because Malcolm Butler constantly gets beat by both Will Fuller and now Brandon Cooks. And last year he was getting beat by Kenny Stills, but he talks so much shit like he just a dog. And you was an All-Pro in New England, and I get to understand all that. But, bro, you get beat way too often to be a corner to talk as much shit as you do. And if that's part of your game, I get it, I understand it. But at the end of the day, you get burnt way too often when you come one-on-one. When you in man-to-man, you get burnt way too often. Especially, but that's why, man, we get these decisions right. I firmly believe ain't nobody in the South fucking with us, bro. And it frustrates me. It really do. Because and that's another reason why I want us to bring back Will Fuller, because we can create mismatches. But we do need, like, back to what I was saying earlier, we do need a big body receiver, because a big body receiver in that situation will be able to catch that pass, and the Texans would have won this game. Again, we still have to give up the 18 seconds. But the Texans would have been in a better position to win said game. The Texans would have been in a better position to win said game if we had a big body receiver. Now, I know, obviously, we definitely would rather have Hopkins in that situation. But if we would have had somebody like Allen Robinson, or a guy I'm looking at in the draft, Nico Collins out of Michigan, or Chamarion Terry out of Florida State, or TJ Vass out of Texas Tech. Y'all knew I was going to say that. Y'all already know I was going to say that about Tech. Y'all already know I had to bring up a Tech guy. You already know how it is. You know I got to bring up a Tech guy. But if you get one of those guys who got crazy catch raises and can jump out the gym, especially like TJ Vass out of Tech has a crazy catch radius. He can jump out the gym. He has a very good catch radius. But Nico Collins out of Michigan, dude got a jump radius out of this world. Like dude can go up and get that thing. Like if he ain't doing nothing else, he's a red zone target and go out there and get that thing. I believe in. I think we should bring back Chad Henson. We have certain weapons on the offensive side. We have certain weapons as the skill position. We do need a running back. Like that's probably the thing that we need the most on the offense outside of fixing the offensive line. And I do think the offensive line. I think the offensive line is salvageable with the players that we have. I just think that needs more coaching. That's why whoever we hire as the general manager and the head coach, I think they'll do a better job by getting rid of Devlin, and also two, bringing in somebody like a Mike Munchak or bringing in a Bruce Matthews, somebody, a veteran former offensive lineman who played multiple times, a Hall of Fame offensive lineman who can coach offensive linemen. Because remember, Mike Munchak was offensive line coach for years in Tennessee, and also Bruce Matthews was the offensive line coach back in 2011 with the Texans, back with Kubiak, when we had that stellar offensive line back in 2009, 2010, 2011, and he only left when Mike Munchak got the head coaching job in Nashville. That's the only reason why he left, because he went to go play. He went to go with his homeboy Mike Munchak and also the franchise that he used to play in Nashville, because Bruce Matthews actually played for the Titans. He played for the Oilers/Titans. Mike Munchak only played for the Houston Oilers, because when Mike Munchak retired in '92, the Oilers were still in Houston. So Mike Munchak only played in Houston. He coached in Nashville, but he only played in the city of Houston. So you can bring these guys back on their quote-unquote home. And like I said, and Bruce Matthews actually played and coached in Houston, because he played as a Houston Oiler and coached as a Houston Texan. So he has familiarity not only with the city but with this franchise as it stands right now. So I think you bring guys like that into the fold, I think you can fix his offensive line. But bringing in a piece that you have to bring in, you got to get rid of David Johnson, and you have to bring in a running back. Is that's drafting? Is that via free agency? I'd rather draft somebody, because I don't like signing running backs. I don't like giving contracts to running backs because running back shelf lives are quicker than any other position in the NFL. So I don't really want to pay those guys. So I would rather bring in somebody. You can find a running back in the undrafted free agency or low round of drafts. They come a dime a dozen. And I think this running back class is legit. You got Chuba Hubbard, you got Najee Harris, you got Travis Etienne. Even though Travis Etienne did not look all that well the other night, but I know Deshaun would like to play with Travis Etienne because they both Clemson guys. If I'm not mistaken, I think Travis was Travis freshman year, Deshaun Watson last year. Tiger Texas Talk, let me know because if I'm not mistaken, I think Travis freshman year was Deshaun Watson's last year, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So y'all let me know. I know, Super Tiger Texan fan. I know he would know all that because he's a Clemson fan. So hey, if you know that, let me know because I'm not 100% sure on that. So all in all, the Texans are 4-12. They gave the Dolphins the 4th pick in the draft, and we won't draft until the 3rd round. So that's an opportunity that's missed. It's frustrating, but I'm glad that the season is over. So now we can stop worrying about this coaching staff, and we can start worrying about this coaching hire and the general manager hire, and hopefully the Texans make the right decision, which I feel that they do. They have no choice but to. And get this man Deshaun some help, dog. Like real talk. If you get him some help, this team is gonna be better. Because Deshaun Watson had an MVP season. He leads the league in passing now. He leads the league in passing on a 4-12 team, and there's nowhere near his fault. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't. Comment below if you haven't. Click that bell. Get more videos. I holla.